My name is Chris Trammell. I'm the career developer and head coach of the Author Launchpad. I'm doing a 5-day workshop right now called From Published to Profitable. It's about authors, speakers, and experts taking that genius and turning it into programs that are scalable because many of us, we have clients, but look, you can only fit so many handfuls of clients. So you're like, hey, I got a handful of client. Well, there's one hand. I got a handful of client. There's two hands. Then you max out somewhere around 10. So you really need to build that scalable program. However, the title of this is an unpackaging surprise. So I got this big book, right? This big box. So if you're somebody who's publishing and you have a book, you're like, Chris, nonfiction book, I think it's going to knock it out of this world. Will you go ahead and feature me? Send it over. Let's have that conversation. I'd love to be able to do that for you. So let's go ahead and see, because this is one of the bigger boxes I've gotten, who this is from. And I think I know who it's from, right? Like, I'm pretty sure I share with you who it's from. Let me get that back in frame right there. Let's go ahead and open this up together. Okay, please don't get my address off the cover of this. If you do, send me hot wings and margaritas, and happily tip the driver for us. Oh, I know exactly. That's right. All right, you ready for it? That's the back of the book. Front of the book, I have got my copies right here of The Miracle Hour by Kelly Roach. Absolutely. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, Tina, I don't know if you've got a copy of The Miracle Hour by Kelly Roach. She is my business coach. She is extraordinary. Tomorrow, Tuesday, I have Krista Carmenero, who is responsible for growing Kelly's platform here on Substack, as well as responsible for being mission control during Kelly's live launch of her book in Del Rey that I was at back in April. So join us tomorrow for that. So why the Miracle Hour? Why do I order extra copies like this? Because inside of in Julie's community, oh, right on. I love Julie. God, talk about a silver fox. I digress. And Julie's inside of Kelly's community. So you see the ecosystem. Ladies and gentlemen, the Miracle Hour. It is simple. And when Kelly talks about how she started this, and she literally started it from her Jeep Wrangler, Jeep whatever, Patriot that she had, I was on that index card because I've been with her on and off for that long. And I remember I was a teacher. I was leaving being a teacher. I was like, I got to take my ability to coach and write curriculums and do something more with it. My son was going into high school. I needed to grow. And Kelly, I was on that index card. And that index card, she said, I would sit in my car for an hour every day and just hustle and make calls and keep following up and keep following up until she finally started to move people through that marketing funnel, to move people and find out what it is that mattered to them so she could create the business that would serve them. And she went through a number of iterations in her progress, in her business, before finally dialing into what became the live launch methodology, which was a perfect timing when the pandemic came. It's what most of her 7-figure and 8-figure clients used and leveraged to grow. And now the next iteration, well, in between that, then she saw that the market was changing. It was time to create a low ticket, valuable trust building offer, and that is the virtual business school online. And that's where I've been modeling Kelly. So inside of her Miracle Hour for authors, I've rewritten and tweaked it and written the scripts, and it's the authority hour. I need you to be out there sharing. What is your authority? What is it that you do for others? Why do you want to make a difference for others? What is it that you say that you are uniquely equipped and qualified to do? And then let's reach out to those people that are your closest opportunity for yeses. Practice with 5 pounds, practice with 10 pounds before you go to the cold audience, which for many of us feels like we're trying to push a lot of weight. That is part of, well, that's the analogy for what Kelly talks about. Start with your warm audience, grow there. This is part of the bundle that I got when I went out to Delray. I'm going to be offering this tomorrow. So again, Tina, if you want a copy, I don't know if you have a copy. You probably have a copy of 50. Do I have a copy of my 50 not finished? It's over here somewhere. But if you don't have a copy of this, I'd love to send you one, because if you put Julie and Kelly's work together, that's like rocket fuel to the moon. Absolutely. But if you're an author and you haven't created that program, you haven't created that process, that ascension of programs to move your clients through, then I invite you to join me this week inside of From Published to Profitable, where we're going to take that expertise. And this is the model that I use. I use an 8-figure business owner, reverse engineer who Kelly is, reverse engineer what Julie does, reverse engineer the Sarah Cannells out there, so that more of us are able to be like, gosh, how do they do that? Well, that's what I did. I learned how to reverse engineer great athletes as a track and field coach, as an Ironman. And then I applied it to my life. I applied it to my athletes' lives. And now I apply it to the lives of authors, speakers, and experts who are like, how do I do that? Well, I'm that personal brand architect that helps you do that. So if you would like a copy of The Miracle Hour tomorrow, when Krista Carmenaro is going to be here on Chris Trammell on Substack, and From Published to Profitable, I'm going to be giving away 4 of these copies, because one of them is going to Tina Williams. So now there's 4. But if more people show up, I'm just going to keep ordering more books, because this is what makes a difference. Look at this is it. You want secret sauce, you want that special something that's going to help you grow your business. Please take whatever your coach has been giving you, uh, and then figure out, put it into your calendar. It's what my assistant coaches do for me, because I am a high functioning ENFP, but they put the squeeze on me. And I want them to put the squeeze on me. And they're like, Chris, you got to stay in this lane and you got to do these things. And they help me create my calendar. And they say, do this, do this, do this. And that's the way I get it done. Same thing right here. What are you going to do in that 60 minutes? Maybe it's 90 minutes, maybe it's 2 hours, but there is a rhythm, there is a structure inside of your miracle hour, because it's like this. If you did it for that hour for 90 days, it would be a miracle that shows up in all of our lives. And as difference makers, it would be a miracle in the lives of others for us to be of contribution and to be of partnership and to be of collaboration to help other people grow the difference they want to make in this world. So if you would like more of that directly from one of the geniuses of Kelly's team, then tomorrow, 12 p.m. Pacific time, right here with Krista Carmenaro of the Kelly Roach, I don't want to say empire, but an organization. And Krista's going to break it down. And specifically, we're going to talk about it inside of the world of authors, speakers, and experts, how they're going to take it and put it out to the world, because that's where I've created the Authority Hour as a 7th step inside of the Author Launchpad. So another great book unpackaging. Again, if you have a book out there, you want me to highlight you, let's have that conversation. Tell me about the process. What's the difference that your book makes? Let me know. I could get around it. I could get behind it. I could support you, because if you're out to make a difference in this world, I'd like to know who you are. So Tina Williams, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for staying on. Please DM me directly. What's your address? And I will send you a Miracle Hour copy. And for everybody else that gets to watch us, join us tomorrow. We'll see you then. Bye for now.